Hi, we are going to test the Graco 4Ever 1 car seat. It's supposed to be a 10-year car seat, and we're testing it for Tested for Life Canada, which is for Canadian Tire. Wow. This is heavier than our car seats in the past.
That's a very heavy car seat.
Holy. Wow. They don't have an even flow one, but it was a long time ago though. Instructions about using it, brief instructions. The part that I think I would really like is this part here where you don't have to rethread the harness, because I remember how annoying that used to be when you have to take the car seat out, rethread it, and then put it back into the vehicle. The other thing that's different from our old car seats is that side impact thing, which is this for a baby's head. So maybe we should also open this right now too.
Yep. This is really soft.
Yeah, the baby actually sends something comfortable.
That's a steel reinforced frame.
Yeah. This is nice to actually put this stuff on the side of the car seat, because I used to have to get out the old instructions to find out how high your head could be above the top of the car seat before you were too big for it, like too tall. They have instructions all over it, so even though you need to really read that manual, they have things listed here and here, down here on the side, everywhere. It gives all kinds of information, so if you're unsure at the moment about how to do something, you can refresh your memory that way. But it is definitely wise to read that instruction manual. It really, really helps. If someone gave this to me and I had to just figure it out for myself, it would take me quite a long time. I could base it on previous knowledge I have from car seats, 20 years ago, but it's slightly a little bit different. So what I like about this car seat compared to the car seats I used for my kids when they were young, which was quite a long time ago, is the fact that you don't have to rethread the shoulder straps right here. Like there used to be, I don't know, like 4 different levels, and so when your child grew, you had to take out the car seat, turn it around, unhook it from this clip here, the splitter clip. So I'd unhook it, push the straps through, put them up to the next highest level, thread them through again. I used to have to use a butter knife to actually thread it through, and then hook it back up to the splitter thing, and then of course pull it tight and put you guys in. The other thing is nice is having this 5-point harness, because now it feels like the babies are actually going to be held in and not fall out like going back 20, 25 years ago. I also like how heavy duty this car seat feels in compared to other car seats, but recent ones as well as old ones. This one is not a light car seat. I don't know how much it weighs, but it is heavy, and so it feels really sturdy and solid. And I like how you can, since you don't have to rethread the shoulder straps, it's nice because now you just go like this, and you slide it up and it goes to where you need it, and you just slide it back down. And I also like how the cup holders are right in line with this armrest here. A lot of the car seats before would have them out on the side like this, so then if you had a narrow car, it was hard to have 2 car seats side by side because it was too squishy. Of course, at one time not all car seats had cup holders because it's always considered a luxury. Anyways, this is a better position, I think, for them. Probably the fabric seems pretty good, but I am really impressed with the strap system here, because older car seats we had, I remember there was right here where you hook it in here, there would be a T like this, T-shield, and then the straps went over the shoulder. So you're held in kind of okay. I just thinking about if you actually got an accident and the baby goes forward, that T part, even though it was kind of rubber, I don't think it would have felt very good for the baby to have that thing pressed against their chest. There used to be the other thing where the handle came down, well not really handle, but the ledge. Yeah, and then you'd hook it down here, you'd put the clip in, the padded thing, and then the strap. So that one was a little nicer, but I like this better because there's more spots where you're connected. And then if you go to their older infant car seat, where it's only the infant car seat up to, I think it was up to 20 pounds, it was just basically a strap that was threaded from behind over the baby through something like this and back, there was just a little piece that slid up.
How did you find it easy or difficult to change it to the different settings, the different modes?
It wasn't really hard, but you really have to read the instruction manual to understand, because we had, you know, I read the whole entire instruction manual and thinking, holy cow, this stuff is complicated the way it used to be. But they do explain everything fairly well. And of course, you need to read it over again, or at least I need to read it over again to see what it's talking about. When we actually started doing it, it started making more sense. Now, after that, it would be easy to do. It's not that hard.
What were the hardest parts?
Probably trying to fit all the buckles into the pocket in the back.
Right, and
Storage.
that compartment when you store it, when you're using it as a back booster seat, because it just barely fits in that compartment.
What about the UAS straps?
Well, that's interesting, but I didn't really understand what it was for. It's confusing for me. For a while, I was like, what are they talking about, a UAS strap? And why does it need to be here? But it's hooked right here because that's when you're not using it, obviously when it's not in a car. But then you would unhook it from there and click it into your new cars. And then, but for sliding it up, it was actually not that hard. The diagrams in the manual definitely help, but you really need to actually practice converting it to the different types of seats. I wouldn't say it's for portable. This is definitely for something you'd want to just keep in your car all the time. So the one thing that is a drawback, and I don't know how you could change it anyways, is if you want to carry your newborn baby up to 20 pounds around, you're not going to take this into the grocery store, obviously, to go get your groceries. It's much more convenient to have the infant car seat where it has the handle and you can carry the baby to and from your house or to and from the grocery cart. Yeah, and I also like that level too, so that when you have, because the one thing, now that we have it in the baby position, we didn't put it in the recline where it should be. But it's nice how it tells you where it should be when you have it reclined. And it explains that in each book too, so where it should be in each recline position for whether you're using it as a rear-facing car seat or forward-facing car seat. Well, it's the most expensive car seat I've ever known about, $400 and something, which I used to always think the $250 ones were quite expensive. But there's definitely a difference in quality, because we were at the store the other day looking at some of the other car seats that were like $150 or even $200 something. But the ones that were in like the $150 range, it was a brand I'd never heard of before, and it wasn't in a box, it was just in plastic, and you lift it up and it was really, really light. And so it makes me wonder, is that one really strong enough? Because they talk about how this one uses that steel bars, and so that probably gives a lot of weight, and the plastic seems to be a really strong plastic. It's nice how you can use this for, up to 10 years, because you can go through the different stages with your child. But of course, if you have more than one child, you're going to need to buy another car seat. But anyway, I really like this one. I would want to use it, like if I had a small child. Grandkids could use it. But it's really good quality. I was like, wow. It's 111 pages, so yeah, there's a lot to read through. I think it's really wise to read it through so you can understand how to use it properly, because if you don't know how to use it properly, then it won't be as safe for your child as you would expect it to be. When we first started, we weren't quite using the book yet. We were just looking at it because we pulled it out and everything. But then we went through the part where it named off the different features, because some things I didn't know what they were, especially that UAS strap. I needed to read through every single type of car seat it can be made into. There's no way I could just read it and film it at the same time while we do it, because it would take way, way too long. I had to understand it first, and then we went through and used the book and just read it to whoever was adjusting it to help with how to make it into whichever type of car seat you needed it to be made into. Even though I'd even read it before and we just discussed it, because we didn't actually put it into those positions beforehand, we just discussed that this is how you do it. So even when we were going through, I still had to keep looking at the manual a lot, and even then I wasn't sure if we're always doing it right sometimes.